Crossroads' main activity is to organize events that fall under one of four categories: current affairs, memory and identity, face-to-face with, and beauty will save the world. We could say that this evening is the advent of an impossible unity, a crossroads of crossroads, the place where our four themes meet. And this meeting is about to happen through our distinguished guest, Kate Hennessy. Kate will speak and read excerpts from her current and popular book about her grandmother, Dorothy Day. Her stories will touch on personal memories which have helped shape the identity of the Catholic Church in the United States. We will have the opportunity to dialogue with Kate in a face-to-face discussion where, among other things, she will reveal why she titled her book, Dorothy Day, The World Will Be Saved by Beauty. Before I read Kate's bio and hand the podium over to her, we would like to honor Dorothy's love for Russian art and tradition and appreciate in a small way the truth of Dostoevsky's quote, "Beauty will save the world." The Communion and Liberation Choir, under the direction of Christopher Vath, will perform two pieces.
The first one is a musical setting of the Beatitudes, and we'll sing it in English, but it's a Russian Orthodox. The music is Russian Orthodox Church. The second one I'll tell you.
Remember your servants, Lord, when you come in your kingly power. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when the world reviles you and persecutes you, and utters all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. Remember your servants, Lord, when you come in your kingly power.
This next work is by Tchaikovsky, and it's a hymn to the Blessed Virgin, and I'll read you the translation. It's a translation of a hymn. It is well deserved to bless you in truth, Holy Virgin, ever blessed and immaculate Mother of our God, more honorable than the cherubim and more glorious than the seraphim, without defilement, born of God's word, truly Holy Virgin, we magnify you.
Thank you. So now I will read Kay's bio. Kay Hennessy is a writer and the youngest of Dorothy's 9 grandchildren. Her work has been included in Best American Travel Writing. She is the author of Dorothy Day, The World Will Be Saved by Beauty, and in collaboration with the photographer Vivian Cherry, Dorothy Day and the Catholic Worker, The Miracle of Our Continuance. Kay attended New York University and the School for International Training in Vermont. She has traveled and worked around the world, including as a counselor at an international summer camp in the former USSR, and as an ESL teacher in Guatemala and India. She has also worked as a curator at a small Vermont museum, and has walked 750 kilometers on El Camino de Santiago in Spain. Kate lives in Vermont. And now, Kate Hennessy.
Thank you so much. First, I want to apologize. I have a cold, so hopefully I'll sound like I've been drinking too much whiskey, but I'm afraid I haven't. I hope that you all will be able to hear me clearly. I'll do my best. I've been on the book tour now for 3 months, and it really has been astounding. I really am so grateful for the reception that I've been given, so grateful for people like you coming to hear me speak, so grateful to be able to tell this story. It is a fabulous story. I love the story of my grandmother and my mother. There is just one thing that I want to first say is that the title of the subtitle of this book is called An Intimate Portrait of My Grandmother, but this isn't quite accurate. It's actually an intimate portrait of my grandmother and my mother, Tamar, who was Dorothy's only child. And so this book came out of years and years of listening to my mother, Tamar, speak about her mother, Dorothy. My grandmother died in 1980, and in the ensuing years, my mother and I talked a lot about her mother. Dorothy was a very complex, paradoxical person, and no less so as a mother. And my mother experienced that. She lived the Catholic worker life. She saw my grandmother go through all of her stages, all of her growth, all of her, the movement, the Catholic worker movement. She saw everything. And I felt, my mother died in 2008, and when she died, I felt that something really important had to be said. Now, I had said to my mother as we were speaking when she was still alive, "Mom, you have to write this story. This is too good to lose." And she would say, "No, I'm not writing my story." And so I'd wait a few years, and then I'd say to her again, "Mom, please write your story." She'd say no. Finally, I started saying, "Well, if you're not going to write it, I'll write it." And she said, "No, you're not." I said, "Okay." And I respected her. I'd wait a few more years. I mean, as I said, we were talking for many years. I'd wait a few more years, and then I'd bring it up again. "Mom, please, can I tell your story?" No. Now, this is something that my mother never said. My mother was an unusual person, is that she never said no to me. She never said no to anyone. She just wasn't that kind of person. Well, she said no for this thing. So I said, okay, I won't go near it. Now, I don't really know why she said that. I can only surmise. And there's two things that come up for me in thinking about why she didn't want me to write the story. And one was that she was terribly disappointed whenever anyone wrote about her mother or wrote about the Catholic worker. That no one could really encapsulate or describe what she had experienced as a child and as an adult in the Catholic worker. No one described her mother as she knew her mother. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Entertaining Angels. It came out in 1996. My mother was terribly disappointed in that movie, and so was I. There's just was not, my grandmother was not portrayed accurately in that movie. So I think that was part of her issue. How can this story ever be told? It's too difficult. And I think the second reason why she didn't want this to be told is because it is too difficult. It's very painful. This is a very sad story, a difficult story. My grandmother and my mother they were two very, very different people. They had very difficult lives. And yet, it is such a hopeful story. And people have said to me again and again, "Yes, you made me cry, but this is the story is so full of hope." And I think my mother was afraid that that hope wouldn't be expressed, that the pain, the wounds were too much, and the hope and the love wouldn't come through. Well, then my mother died in 2008, as I mentioned, and I realized that a huge element of the story of Dorothy Day would be lost forever if someone didn't tell the story of her as a mother and of my mother, Tama. And so I just said to both of them, I said particularly to my mother, I said, "Mom, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to write your story." And of course she wrote this back. But the most amazing thing happened actually when I said this. I had no idea how I was going to do this. I just died. What do I do? Shake it, hit it. Hello? I guess I just need to shake it.
There's a button there.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, I didn't touch the button. Oh, see, it just died again. Maybe it's the battery.
Winnie, do you have another battery?
Okay, it's on again.
Okay, we're looking for another battery.
All right, it seems to keep fading out. We'll see how far I get. I had no idea. I don't know how many of you are writers, but...
Is that your mother? That's what she said. It's a sign from your mother.
It's too late, Mom. I already heard the book. It's out there. Well, I'll try to continue without it.
Yeah.
But it keeps coming on and then going off.
Yeah. If I close the window, it might help.
No, you don't.
It might help. Yeah. I think you're right. It's probably Granny. Yeah, I don't want to